Warning: viewer discretion advised. This video will contain scenes of language, as well as some artistic nudity. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another Bacon Bits, Little Bits. Today I am here at the House of Holland Tattoo Parlor. We're going to be going inside, well, going out the door and interviewing a few of the artists here. I'm going to show you all the facilities and overall just get a look at this amazing new business that has just opened in the Greenville, South Carolina area. If you want to get a tattoo for yourself, I highly recommend coming down to the House of Holland Tattoos. I've known these artists for several years now, and they're all just amazing people who will do just the right amount of nurturing you and making fun of you. That is just the perfect balance. And anyways, thank you all for joining me today. If you like the content that we put out, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of any future videos. Anyways, I'm gonna finish up here. Let's do this. I am here today with
Armandgroesbeek.
I am here with
Jaiden Upton.
Hey, I am here with
Jaiden Upton.
And I was born in 1983, quite a couple of years ago, in a small town called Vereniging in South Africa. We're about 45 minutes outside of Johannesburg. Really small town. Yeah, just grew up there, lived there my whole life. Later in my life, I decided to move out of Vereniging. Wanted something a little bit different, you know, because once you're in a small town like that, you stagnate, and you don't grow. And I wanted to grow.
Been tattooing almost 13 years now. Specialize in traditional style tattooing, neo-traditional, illustrative, pretty much every style at this point. I can do. Not a big fan of watercolor, but I don't have a problem with doing it for clients. It's fine. I will do their infinity symbols all the way up to their feathers to Roman numerals. You pick it, I stick it, you know?
I am 25. I've been tattooing for 5 years. This month is October. I don't know. I like doing traditional, American traditional, traditional fine line black work.
It's interesting, one of my friends, Henny Bum, he's a really good airbrush artist in South Africa. I convinced him to go for a tattoo course, which I know is the wrong thing to do, but he did. I convinced him to start doing tattoos, which he then did, and turned out he was more natural at it, so he was tattooing for about 3 months, and he was tattooing a mutual friend of ours. I'll never forget it. He tattooed this little tribal guitar on the inside of his arm, and when I saw it, I was like, hey man, let me have a go. Now keep in mind, at that point I never really drew or painted or anything. I was more into music. So at first he was like, hey man, I don't know. I was like, bro, just give me the machine, man. Like, show me what to do and what not to do. Well, our mutual friend, he was all cool with it, man. He was like, yeah, bro, just whatever. So I started color packing this little tribal guitar, and I turned around and I said, guys, this is what I want to do with my life, man. This is what I want to do. I was 29 at this point, so very late in my life. That's when I decided this is what I want to do. And to everyone's shock, obviously, because I'm not really a creative one when it comes to art, right? And the rest is history. I then started, and yeah, here I am.
I was about 14 years old, so this is around 94. My best friend, Michael Hunter, who is also later down the road becomes my mentor, we'd sit around as kids because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have social media, so comic books and artwork was our outlet. So we would sit and draw and talk about one day just growing up and tattooing people. Like, it was always something that was there as a childhood dream. So used to build airplanes, paint cars. I did a lot of that kind of other work. But then May of 2012, Michael Hunter had become a tattoo artist at this point, and I think he'd been tattooing a good 6 or 7 years, and I went to see him for some tattoo work, and he asked me if it was still a dream of mine, and I told him yes. And he said, come back tomorrow and let's start your apprenticeship. That was May 12, 2012. He taught me everything, the fundamentals of tattooing, from line work to shading to the different throws on how to build machines, how to set up needles, how to mix pigment. Like, I learned a traditional apprenticeship. And once I picked that machine up, I never looked back. I was not going to be a number in a corporation anymore. I made sure I tattooed myself to a point where no one else would hire me. This is what I wanted, and this is what I pushed hard for. And I wasn't going to let myself nor anyone else take it from me. So that's pretty much where I'm at today.
I was really interested in it when I was younger. When I started realizing what tattoos were, I really liked seeing them on people's skin. And when I was a teenager, I had body dysmorphia, and so I really loved having my body covered in artwork. I loved the thought of that and planning the artwork out. And I started getting piercings when I was 15, so being there all the time and seeing the artist's work in the shop, it really inspired me to pursue that career. And then I met my husband, who is a tattoo artist, and he taught me how to tattoo.
My first tattoo is the Hebrew writing that I have on my arm. I got it when I was, I think, 24, 25, thereabouts.
What's the meaning behind it?
So this is the 3 words for God's love in Hebrew. Ahava Raya Indot, which in English, I love chocolates, I love my dog, I love my wife. We use the one word love for different kinds of love, whereas in Hebrew, every different kind of love has a different meaning. So I love my kids different than I love my wife, so you'll use a different meaning. And so this is just God's different loves that he has for us. It's a fatherly love, a brotherly love, and more like a fiery love. Yeah. Went all religious on your ass there.
My first tattoo was, so you gotta keep in mind this is the 90s and tribal was cool. I went to a friend of mine's house because tattooing wasn't legal here in South Carolina, obviously, in 96. So I wound up at a buddy of mine's house who was trying to be a tattoo artist. He's still trying to this day, I don't know. He gave me my first tattoo, and after that, just started collecting them throughout the years.
My first tattoo was on my back. It's a peony and moon phases in my grandmother's handwriting. I got that right when I turned 18. And I think I got like 3 more in the same month.
That's controversial, because one of my most favorite tattoos is my Donald Trump tattoo that I have, and it says Uncle Donald, and it's with Donald Trump with his hands talking like this. That's one of my favorites, and that's on me. One of my favorites, I don't know, that I did on other people, I think that the most special one was the first actual tattoo that I've ever done by myself, not practicing on a dude. You know, like after this I got a little, you know, after I tattooed the little tribal guitar on our friend, my friend actually got me a really cheap tattoo kit from China, and I think converted into dollars it would have been like maybe $20. So it was cheap as hell, bro, cheap as fuck. But I used that machine and that needle and inks and everything to tattoo my first tattoo on my brother, and that is what kind of kickstarted my whole tattoo journey. So that's I think my most favorite tattoo that I've done.
One of my favorite tattoos is a tattoo of my wife's butt that I did on myself because she has the cutest backside. So it was on my 40th birthday. I had a client that had rescheduled, so it gave me an opportunity to tattoo myself that day, and it's one of my favorites. One of my other favorite tattoos is the ones that she's done for me as well. She's really changed my life when she come into my life. She tattooed a bobby pin on me right here, marking her territory, should you say. And then her handwriting that lets me know I'm enough every day. And along with matching red flame that we have. So those are some of my favorites. Along with ones of my children, of course. I have so many, some that I've done on myself as well.
My favorites would be my palms, sacred geometry, and my right hand being masculine and my left hand being feminine. I have the seed of life in my right hand and then the flower of life in my left hand. Tomorrow I will be better. It's in Kevin's handwriting, and it's always a promise to myself that I can try again tomorrow and be a better person. And then I have my baby ram on the back of my leg for my son. He's an Aries, he's my baby ram. An open mind on my knuckles. Those are my favorites too. And my little spider web. That's it.
Bro, that's such a broad spectrum of things. There's many beautiful things in this industry, but there's also a lot of shit things. Like, we meet great people, we meet amazing people, and the network we build is amazing, you know? And clients turn into friends, you know, and friends turn into family. It's just, that's one of the most beautiful things. But the hardships, the ugly side of it as well, you know, first of all, is the struggle to get good, because no one wants to get tattooed if you do ugly tattoos. I'd say it's the struggle to get good, and it's a lot of hard work and a lot of exercise, a lot of practice. Then once you become good, you quickly realize that the industry, a lot of it is very cliquey. So, it's don't come here, don't fish in my pond, don't do this, this is my area, and you meet shitty clients, That's the hardships for me.
The hardships in this career is, now it seems like you have to be such an influencer these days in the career. Now everybody wants reels and they want you to constantly post pictures, and you have to, so much more goes into it to actually just be a tattooer. To be a tattoo artist, it's not you sit and get to draw up artwork. And I would say dealing with some of the clients nowadays, because everybody's so instant gratification, they have to learn that they can't get you immediately when they walk in the door, that they have to put a deposit down. They have to respect your time, respect your art. I would say that's some of the hardships that we face as tattooers. And it's a saturated market with people that just never had an apprenticeship. People, just because they should, or just because they can, they shouldn't kind of mentality. Not everyone's a tattooer, and just because you can buy a machine don't fucking mean you should do it. So that's just an honest opinion of mine. Too many scratchers,
So I have really bad social anxiety. So overcoming that has been challenging for me because it is very social. You have to talk to them, you have to interact with your clients and work with them with their artwork and work on their bodies. Very social experience. And handling difficult clients. People that come in here that think that we can tattoo them on drugs or alcohol. That is a no-go. Or pregnant.
I will be honest, I don't have crazy stories. I think, I don't have crazy stories. The only thing, I had a client book a tattoo, and we discussed the design, and she was happy and she was very excited to get tattooed by me. And I was going to do a cool piece. It was like a floral piece. I like doing floral. And a day before my appointment with her, she texted me and she was like, I cannot get tattooed by you because you support Donald Trump, and I will never support someone like that. And she just sent me this long essay of how disgusted she is in me. And I just responded, I was like, hey man, cool, like, it's just kind of weird, but it's like me telling someone, I won't tattoo you based on your ethnicity, religion, or point of view. And I was like, you're right, I'm not the tattoo artist for you. And so that was kind of the weirdest experience I had. But in South Africa, I didn't have much weird experiences. There's way more weird people here than there.
Well, that's good to know at least.
Early on in my career, I had to tattoo a butthole. You want a tattoo, you have to tattoo a butthole. And I was an apprentice, so I had to do the tattoo if I wanted the tattoo. Something that I don't think most people would have to do anymore, but it really prepared me for some of the ups and downs of this industry. You have to see it all at some point.
I haven't had much, like, personally. There was that one time that a man who was on substances came into the shop with his genitalia out and asked for a phone charger, and then got mad because we wouldn't give him one.
The freedom being able to do what you want to do, right? And every now and again you get that gem of a client that are like, hey, do whatever you want. That day, that's the best day. And the thing is about tattooing, it's you're only as good as your last tattoo. So it's always good having a client that's okay with you just doing whatever you do, because it's going to be a great tattoo, and then you feel good about yourself. And I like that. I like that feeling of putting my art on people, and they're happier, with it, because they're gonna keep it on them for the rest of their lives. And that for me is it's a pretty special thing.
I am my own boss, and I don't have to ask permission from myself to go to my child's soccer game. I don't have to ask permission to go to any school functions or take a day off. If I need a day off, I can schedule it. That makes me and it gives me free time to spend with my family when I'm ready to do that.
Oh, I love that it's basically therapy and art together. I can talk to people and they trust me to tell me things about their lives, and I'm able to put a great piece of artwork on them, and it's like bonding with them. It's permanent artwork of mine on their body.
I would have to say some of my favorite tattoos I've done are also on my wife with the meaning behind them. Ones I could give her that have my handwriting. Like I said, we have the matching "You Are Enough," and like that means a lot to me because it shows me that we share that bond, that at some point in our lives we were not enough for the people around us, and for each other we are enough. I think that's probably the most meaningful for me.
My husband, I did my handwriting on his arm in matching "You Are Enough."
The hardest tattoo, I don't know. They're all experiences, so I wouldn't say that they were hard. I would say they were challenges that helped me become a better tattooer. I think certain areas are more difficult to tattoo than others for sure, like rib cage tattoos and butt tattoos. Like anywhere that's got a lot of extra meat's going to be a bit more difficult to tattoo because you have to make sure you stretch it accordingly. So nothing really too hard.
Roman numerals on a rib cage. That's my hardest to this point. We'll keep you updated.
There's so many influences in that. I think one of the main things for me is the fear of being normal or average. So for me, my biggest competition is myself, and I will feel very disappointed in myself the day I die and I realized I could have been more. Because you're going to look back and you'll be like, hey, I could have done that more, and I could have been more. So what is my limits? What is my limitations? So at this point, I'm just pushing to see where my limits are. Where's my limitations? That's my main drive. That's my main, force behind what I do. Why I do it. It's because I want to see where I can be. Where am I meant to be? Where can I be if I push myself?
Don't want to work a 9-to-5 or a McDonald's drive-through. You want to
No, that's why
be special.
That's why I've got a neck tattoo. I wanted to make myself unemployable. I had some hardships, and at some point I was considering going back to a normal job, and my wife was like, "Really? So you're just gonna waste all these years?" I was like, "You know what, babe? You're right." So I got my friend to tattoo my neck. It says "Living Sacrifice," and I was like, "You know what? Let me sacrifice this, man. I want to be unemployable, and then I have to commit, right?" So it kind of forces that discipline on you. So that's why I did it. Yeah.
When I walked away from my career in aviation, because at one point I did work for a large jet company, I was told that this was a stupid idea, that I was throwing it all away. And I also heard in school that my artwork would never take me anywhere. So just, I guess, the doubt from others. And I don't know, I like proving people wrong.
Dedication to myself, my artwork, and something that my son can be proud of.
So I always wanted to open up a shop in the United States. I always wanted to own more than one shop as well, right? I guess it comes in like, how far can I take it? How much can I do with it? And so the best place to, when you want to start a business, one of the best places is the United States, right? It's a capitalistic country and you have the opportunities to do it. And I think when you're born here, you don't always see those opportunities because you're born in it, right? You don't see it. But for me, growing up in South Africa, knowing what I know living there, coming over here, seeing the opportunities, you know, trying to seize every moment, that's one of the reasons I opened up a shop here. So yeah, obviously I had a lot of help from a lot of people. You know, this is not a one-man thing. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of people that spend a lot of time, effort and money into this. So it's not just a me thing, but it's a cooperative thing. What a big word to use for the South African. I think it's I don't know if you're familiar with David Goggins.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a motherfucking beast.
Bro, it's
and
crazy.
So for me, that's inspiring. I think the world pussified us a lot, right? So the world has made us weak. And so for me, I don't want to be weak. You know, a lot of people give up after the first, second, third try, but I will never give up. I'm way too fucking stubborn for that. So yes, I want to see how much I can take, and I want to push myself. And I don't ever think we can push ourselves to our limits. I don't think we know where our limits are. But why not push it? You know, why not see how far we can take it?
I knew immediately when I met Armand that we had a very, very deep bond. Hello, Armand. I knew when I met this gentleman. We clicked immediately. We shared a lot of the same views, but we also didn't share same views, and I respected the fact that we could have different views and be able to discuss them like adults. And I really like that about his demeanor. He's helped critique me in ways that's made me a better artist. I would say vice versa. He come to our country with goals and dreams and ambitions, and I wanted to see him be successful along with taking that elevator up with him. So it was a mutual thing, I think, from respect in the business to how we see providing for our families. Love this man. Appreciate him every day of my life.
I love you too, bro.
Thanks, man.
And it was another opportunity to be able to work with my husband again. And I love Armand as well, and I think we all work well together. We can ask each other for pointers and perfecting our art.
To get going, just like here at House of Holland.
Yeah.
I don't think it was so much hard. Well, I guess the construction process took a little bit longer than expected. And I think just all the hoops you have to jump in South Carolina with DHEC and all the crossing the T's and dotting the I's and just all the small inconsistencies with our state government, because they obviously don't really have a good game plan for how to open one of these. It's a little bit backwards. So I think that's the hardest part with tattooing is if you want to do it legally in a licensed shop, they really make you jump through hoops. So like that's probably the toughest part.
And what did it take for you personally to kind of get things into motion?
I don't know. I've been doing this 13 years from here. So like you give me 4 walls, a seat, and a client chair and a machine, and I can tattoo from anywhere. So as soon as we got the green light, it was make it home and let's go.
I think for me, it was getting back into the swing of things after having Silas and taking a little hiatus from tattooing. I think that was the most challenging for me. Trying to make as much art and post it and post my availability and market myself and getting cards and going places and handing them out.
Putting them out at like Walmart and stuff.
Yeah, pimping myself out.
I cannot go into that, but I will say this. it's not going to stop here. If I have anything to say with it, about it, if I have anything to say about it, it will not stop here. That's the exact terminology that I was looking for.
Future plans are continue to grow as an artist, continue to watch the shop grow, continue to watch us all become more established and create, if not the best, one of the best environments to be tattooed in, and set ourselves up to where we can do this internationally at some point, to just, I don't know, just watching us grow and just achieve success.
I mean, the plan right now is to get a steady flow of clients, building myself as an artist, being the best mom and wife I can be, and tattoo artist, and then also working more with my apothecary, getting that more out there.
So you can go on Instagram. First of all, I think Instagram is the biggest platform. You can go on House of Holland Tattoo Emporium, and you will find this. And you can go on Armandgroesbeektattooartist. Good luck spelling that. Okay, you can maybe put in a link somewhere. That's okay. And then you can go to K.uptontattoos and uptonogoodtattoos. You can find us there. We are still busy with the website, so they're still developing the website. We will have merchandise on there eventually, so it's just taking some time, and we will get new artists in here as well to fill up the booths. But for now, that's where you can find us. You can DM us on Instagram, book with us there. You'll find us our number or email or whatever on there, and you can book through that. Yeah, easy.
On Facebook, Kevin Upton Tattoos. You can find me on Instagram at K.uptontattoos or tattoos.ku. I have multiple accounts where people can find me, reach me. You can reach us at House of Holland Tattoo Emporium on Instagram. You can find us at 221 Pelham Road, Suite 101, Greenville, South Carolina, 29615. We're here. We're easy. Just type in our name, and you'll find us.
I have a Facebook page. It's Ladylike Tattoos, and I have my Instagram. It's uptonogoodtattoos. Threads, Twitter. Is it X? X now.
How do you keep up the magnificent, sexy facial hair? And what is your routine for the people out there, you know, like me, myself?
So, my father was he was always very neat. My father was a diesel mechanic, and normally diesel mechanics have this image about them, right? But my father, he was always clean shaven. His hair was always done great, and so that's one thing I kind of learned from him, keeping good hygiene. And then obviously, as I got a little bit, I was skinnier back in the day, but as I put on a little bit more weight, I started growing out a mustache to keep my face thinner. And then obviously when you have a mustache, you got to keep it nice and, you know, trimmed. But my routine in the morning is kind of just, I do my hair, blow my mustache with a blow dryer, you know, make sure it lasts perfect. It's a lot of effort to look like this, you know. It takes time and effort. It's painful to be beautiful. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm born with it, or maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Some advertising for Maybelline there.
How do you keep up with the magnificent, amazing, sexy facial hair?
I tell it every day how pretty it is.
Thank you.
So, if you want to see me and this pretty boy do a podcast, this guy over here behind the camera will keep you posted. And so will we.
Yes, stay tuned.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
thank you all for joining me on today's episode of Bacon Bits Little Bits. I hope that you all enjoyed this mega episode and fell in love with the shop and everybody in it, just as I have. If you're wanting a tattoo in the Greenville area, I highly recommend coming to check this place out, even if you just want to get a feel of the place and the people. Pop in and say hello. Remember, if you like the content that we put out, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, as well as hit that bell icon to be notified of videos. A final thanks to Armand, Kevin, and Jaiden for allowing me and supporting me through making this video. Stay swaggy, everybody. Yes, I forgot to make an outro.